Good evening, and welcome to everyone on Love 101 FM, Facebook, YouTube Live. This is Family Time. Family Time is about your issues and your relationships. It's about your at home family, your community family, and your global family. Family Time, of course, is produced by Family Life Ministries, and our aim is to enable healthy families, which will lead to healthy nations. So stay with us and please connect with us via our platforms. Friend us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA, and on Instagram. Keep up with what's happening at Simply FLMJA. While Family Time is a family program, we'd like to caution that it may be on the odd occasion touch on some what some may consider to be mature subject matters. So, parents, other persons, your discretion is advised. It's Senior Citizens Month, and they are at the top of our list. Gender based violence, GBV, against senior citizens in Jamaica is a significant issue, and too many elderly persons in Jamaica suffer in silence be- between the various abuses, neglect, and being robbed. But guess what? There is a new crop of seniors that are not making it slide anymore, all because of some WMW workshops. They are aimed with knowledge and armed to defend themselves and each other. Wouldn't you like to know what these seniors know and more? Age is wisdom, knowledge is power, and silence is no longer an option. So let's talk. Join us as we look at the topic: senior citizens fight gender based violence. I'm sure you have your questions and we want to answer them. But here is our question to you: how can families and communities help prevent abuse against older people? Send your answers via WhatsApp text and WhatsApp voice notes to 876-997-3125. Try to keep your voice notes to no longer than 30 seconds, please. And you can also call our studio lines. Those numbers are 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Watch us and comment live on Love 101 Facebook, Love 101 YouTube. Get your questions ready for our special guests. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Campus Connection is back, and you are invited to our first show for the season entitled Bright Sparks. We will be sharing our summer adventures, highlighting campus activities for the academic year 2025 to 2026, and giving tips on overcoming disappointments, such as negative CXC exam results and repeating a grade. Join us with guests Mrs. Nadine Campbell Pearson, St. Catherine High School PTA President, and Mr. Paul Park, who will share his journey from not being able to read after high school to guidance counselor and lecturer at the GC Foster College. Campus Connection is brought to you by the Ministry of National Security's Live Good Anti-Violence campaign. That's on Tuesday, September 9 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. Come on, tell me what Campus Connection.
Welcome back to Family Time on Love 101. We are so happy that you have joined us. And welcome to our very special guest. For the first half of the program, we're going to have Mrs. Facey Dobbs, a social worker and counselor. Mrs. Dobbs, are you there?
I am very much here.
Yes, it is so
Hello.
good to see you. It's so good to hear you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to have you on and really appreciate the time that you have taken to be with us. You look
My
lovely,
honor.
by the way. I just wanted
Thank
to say
you.
right. So we want to say to our listeners, remember that our feedback question to you is how can families and communities help prevent abuse against older people? WhatsApp, text, and voice notes to 876 997 3125. Try to keep those voice notes to no longer than 30 seconds and send your answers via WhatsApp text and messages to um, the 9973125 and try to keep them low, as I said before. And you can also call our studio lines, which is 876 968 8327 or 876 968 8328. Remember, you can also watch us. Yes, you can watch us and comment live on Love 101 Facebook and Love 101 YouTube. Let's get going. Senior citizens fight against gender based violence. That's our topic today. I'm sure that you want to hear more about it. The Bible reminds us in Leviticus 19 and verse 32 to stand up in the presence of the aged, show respect for the elderly, and revere your God. This is not just a private family matter, it's a community matter, a justice matter, a moral matter. Our elderly deserve to live with dignity, respect, and safety. But first, we all need to know what we're talking about. So let's jump right in with our special guest. And we are going to speak with her. She clearly comes as a member of the expertise posse, as it were. And so she is going to share with us on this particular topic. Now, there are various types of gender based violence that affect our elderly. There's physical, emotional, sexual, financial, and so on. And a lot of times, persons don't remember the financial exploitation. That's a very big one, and neglect as well. Tell us a little bit about your experience, my guest, Mrs. Facey Dobbs. Tell us a little bit about your experience. How prevalent do you think? I mean, I'm not asking you to quote statistics now because clearly that was not part of your preparation. But from your experience, how prevalent is it, and which of these seem to be a little bit higher in percentage from your experience than the others?
All right. So let me just add that um, yes, I'm a social worker and a counselor, but I was also a facilitator in the WMW workshops, and I did
Okay,
a number of the workshops with the seniors.
right,
What we have found, and I don't know that I can say percentages. I just
hmm,
know that when it comes to the physical abuse, there are things like hitting and pushing, and that happens a lot. When it comes to
right,
financial, this is where their savings and their pension and their properties either taken away or a lot of take altogether taken away or a lot of it. So it's depleted by the time anybody gets any wind of what is happening.
right,
Also, they get neglected in terms of food,
hmm,
in terms of medication, in
right,
terms of general health care. And there's also isolation. And when isolation happens, that is when the abusers are even get to be, I mean, perpetuate the abuse more because they
right,
are not seeing. So
right.
the abuse is easier and it's harder to detect.
Yes,
So
yes.
although I don't have stats, I know it
Right,
happens a lot, and there are indicators that we see.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for that. Just listening to you talk, Similar to how you would look at someone wanting to hurt a child, a baby, for example. It just sends you into that zone. How can one want to willing to do that? But I guess we could go to that as well. Why would persons want to do that? But that's not the debate this evening. The debate is really about how what it is and how can we really seek to stem it, and what have we been doing, certainly in our context here in Jamaica. Tell us a little bit more about emotional psychological abuse, because that sometimes I would think, and I believe you will agree with me, tend to be underestimated, generally speaking, but more so toward the elderly.
Absolutely. So, as I said before, a lot of what happens under that kind of abuse is intimidation and
Right.
humiliation. And when that happens, is is literally you're making them feel so bad about themselves that they go into their shells. So
Yes.
you'd have to pay attention so that when you see them in the open, you'd realize that they're not talking as they used to. They
Mm.
don't look as bright and chirpy because I love the elderly. So I always say I tolerate the people in between, but I love the elderly and the little children.
Mm.
Usually when they're out and about and they're happy selves, they're talkative and they might crack jokes.
Right.
When you see them in their shells and you see them with unexplained bruises,
Hmm.
then you know that something is happening, and
Right.
people need to pay more attention
Right.
because they are among the vulnerable among us. And
Absolutely.
it's something that is said that a country, people think about a country depending on how they treat the most vulnerable among us.
Yes. Yes.
So it's,
Yes.
as you said, it's really time for us to stop turning a blind eye. It's important that
Toward.
we pay attention.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So there are some risk factors which we can't deny. There are persons who, based on where they are in their circumstance, their quality of life, the circumstances of their life, they are probably more at risk for gender-based violence than others. There is, of course, dependency on the caregivers. Are there any others that you can think of to share with us quickly? What are some of the risk factors?
So before we jump from the dependency on the caregivers, because it's a very big one, so I want to stress it. So
Right.
the dependency on the caregivers involve family members,
Mm-hmm.
and it also involves the institutions. And
Right.
oftentimes, we may not see them on documentaries in Jamaica, but we see so many times in spaces of elderly care where they're abused so badly that some of them die, or some of them have very bad injuries. So I don't want to jump off dependence.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're totally dependent on somebody, or mostly dependent on somebody or some place, and you're getting abused from that, it really, really, really is dreadful. But they
Right.
will come back again to isolation. We can't
Mm.
overemphasize isolation.
Yes. Yes.
But look for the old people, then, brother, because when them by themselves with these people are taking care of them, they
Mm.
are a lot more vulnerable.
Yes.
You
Yes.
also
Yes.
have some gender specific dynamics that happens in with the elderly where their income.
Mm.
So because especially women, oftentimes in their younger years they earn less than their male counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Their pension is less. So there's less money to look after them in their older age.
Yes.
So yes,
Yes.
those are a number of risk factors. I call those the DIG.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. We're going to head to another break, and we're going to continue the discussion. Thank you so much so far for bringing light into some of the issues, but we want to remind our listeners of the feedback question. How can families and communities help prevent abuse against older people? We're looking forward to what you have to say. So send us your answers via WhatsApp and text or WhatsApp voice notes to 876-997-3125. Remember, you try to keep your voice notes to no longer than 30 seconds. Remember, you can also call our studio lines at say 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Let me go again, 968-8328. You can also watch us on live and comment on our Love FM Facebook page and our Love FM YouTube. And just so you know, that the numbers for Family Life Ministries head office are 876-920-1034 and 876-926-8101. Stick around for more. We have lots more for you. It's 5:45. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
The time that Grace could move is
5:45.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Jamaica, get ready to move on Caribbean Wellness Day. Join the Ministry of Health and Wellness on Saturday, September 13, 2025 at Hope Zoo for the Caribbean Wellness Day 3K Fun Run Walk and Wellness Village. Warm-up starts 6:30 a.m. Then the Big Run Walk Extravaganza starts at 7 a.m. sharp. Admission free. The first 500 participants get a Jamaica Moves t-shirt. Register for the Fun Run and Walk. Registration closes September 8. Sign up now at moh.gov.jm/corporate wellness. Get your free health checkup and sample healthy snacks at our Wellness Village while watching the thrilling Obstacle Course Challenge among our corporate wellness challengers, plus a special race for seniors, influencers, and even the kids. It's Caribbean Wellness Day 2025. Let's move together for a healthier Jamaica.
Nothing beats the Love 101 September Bonanza. That's 15% off any advertising package. That's more savings, more spots, and more reach for your business. But don't wait. This offer ends September 30. Call us now at 876-968-9596 or email sales and marketing at love101.org. Let's grow together. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Family Time. This program, Family Time, is sponsored by Family Life Ministries, and we are on Love 101 FM. And our guest is right here with us, and we're so happy that she has been able to join us, Mrs. Marvet Facey Dobbs. She's a social worker and counselor, and she mentioned some other qualifications earlier, which my mind is not grabbing on, but certainly she comes to us very, very equipped and very able to provide us with the answers to these questions as it relates to senior citizens fight gender based violence. We are talking about that's what we're talking about this evening. And um, how do you think, Mrs. Facey Dobbs, how do you think that families can actually prevent family, um, families and communities can actually help to prevent one or two things from your own reservoir of response? What are your thoughts?
So, being on the ground, and the only other qualification I wanted you to remember was that I facilitated some of the WMW workshops with the
Right,
senior.
absolutely, absolutely.
And what I got on the ground is that people, as I was saying, people need to pay attention. A lot of us, a lot of people throw away our older folks. So they get
Mm,
to an age and them of no use anymore. So we don't pay attention. If we pay attention, then that will help us to prevent it and to figure out when it is happening to do something about it.
Right.
Also, there's a taboo and a silence around it. And a
Mm.
lot of silence is because of the shame from the elderly themselves. So,
Yes.
a
Yes.
gentleman that I was counseling once, he had experienced financial abuse, and I asked him, he had the receipts. So, literally, he had the receipts, and
Mm.
of the receipts, as we call it, he had the proof. So I
Right.
asked him, why didn't you go to the authorities? And he said, me shame, because there's no
Yes.
fool worse than an old fool.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
means I am of age, I've been here so long, I've gone through all of this, and then to allow this to happen to me.
Mm.
And so if we can deal with getting rid of the silence and the taboo around it,
Yes.
and if we can
Yes.
pay more attention to our elderly, then that would help it.
That would absolutely help. Because when we talk about gender based violence, we usually think about young women and girls, but
Right.
abuse does not end with age. And too many of our senior citizens suffer in silence, as you said, from physical, emotional, sexual, financial abuse and neglect, often at the hands of those they depend on most. And I think
Absolutely.
that particularly is so heart-rending. The person, and very often these are family members or persons whom they really thought were close friends and had their interest at heart. But let's
Absolutely. And just quickly to say that this is why WMW thought it prudent to add them as a cohort to this discussion,
right,
because oftentimes they are not in it. You have the younger people, you have the middle-aged people, you have everybody else except the elderly when they are going through it as well. So we thought it
right.
was very important for us to add them to the
Yes,
conversation.
absolutely, absolutely. And so, if we could identify some of the signs or the indicators of abuse, um, um, can you give us a few of those?
Sure. So you'd see, as I was saying before, you'd see unexplained bruises. You'd see all of a sudden the money had disappear, unexplained loss of
Mm,
money, and you would see withdrawal. So
right.
them used to be them bright, bubbly, funny selves,
Yes.
but they're
Yes.
not talking anymore,
Right. We
and
have
they
a
are
voice note.
depressed.
We have a
Go
voice
ahead.
note. So can we take it, please? Can we
Sure.
go ahead with the voice message?
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, following time. Sister Riri here.
Mm-hmm.
I have experienced a few stuff.
Mm,
When but I remember I had a neighbor, and the mother was abused and misused, and she
mm,
would come to my fence. I get her into the infirmary, get ambulance, take her there. And to be honest, it never changed fear, because even when she have anesthesia at the
mm,
infirmary, they just throw down the food and go give them like a dog. And I
mm,
went and do practical nursing, and I volunteered down there, and that never changed.
wow.
Government sending the infrastructure, but the workers, some of them are terrible and wicked. I
Mm,
had one where you saw another experience where I had to take in that lady at my house
mm,
because they were beating her, and that was
wow.
so bad. And they used to pay me to keep her until she died at my house.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate that. And so sorry for what happened, but thank you for coming to the rescue of those persons. Yes. Let's
And this is
continue.
what we're talking about, dependency
Yes.
and the institutions.
Right.
Um, there are times when I do an audit. So I call it a home audit or an institution audit. Where
Mm.
Lord, let me give you the secret. Where I go in and try to act as if I'm trying to seek information to see if I
Right.
can figure out what's happening, because
Right.
trust me, them go
Mm.
under it at the hands of some of these people, some of these caregivers. And I do
Right.
this because using the word care in front of what
Mm.
they give,
Right.
it is a
Yes.
loose word to
Doesn't,
use.
doesn't, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
So some of the signs and indicators: sudden withdrawal or depressed signs of depression, poor
and you're
hygiene
seeing
and
bruises.
yes, yes, you
Yes,
see the bruises, the unexplained bruises, and sometimes they may not even want to say where it came from.
absolutely.
And anything else that you want to highlight in terms of the indicators?
Those are the main ones, and especially
Okay.
the money being depleted, so them suddenly not
Mm.
have enough money to spend even on
Right,
food.
right, right. Sometimes fear of the caregivers. They
Yes.
demonstrate that if you go to visit with them, they demonstrate that. How does the society though cultural and societal attitudes toward the elderly? In some societies, I know that the elderly is revered. They really look on them, with distinction, sorry, in a distinguished way. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
And so they're honored. Yeah. But ageism in our society, how is that in our Jamaican society from your perspective?
So
And maybe
for me,
Caribbean.
it's a mixed because yeah, in the Jamaican context, we big up with old people them,
Right, right,
right? So
right.
and we take wisdom from them.
Yes,
But
yes,
also on the other hand, yes, there's still ageism and there's still sexism. A lot of the
yes.
ageism comes from surprisingly the healthcare sector.
Mm.
So you'll have, for instance, older older females are more prone to heart disease,
Mm.
yet they are the ones who are mostly underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed.
Right, right.
And you would wonder.
Mm.
So it's just a lot of factors that impact the elderly.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And do you think that the women um face greater risk than men?
Yes. So
Okay. Because women are
just
perceived that they
yes.
should they should take it, eh?
Right. So just in case anybody think I'm saying that men do not go through abuse, especially elderly men. No.
Mm.
It's just that when compared, so financially again, as I mentioned before,
Mm.
because they earn less
Right,
in their
right.
younger years, they have
Mm.
less to spend
Right,
as they get older.
right, right, right.
Also, they suffer from more from mental illnesses like chronic depression and
Mm.
dementia more than men.
Mm.
Also, because they are the caregivers. So
Yes.
even in other certain age, they are still giving care. So they're giving care to the
Mm.
people who are younger than them. And if they're in
Mm.
better health than the people who are older than them, they're still giving care.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
people who are the same age as them, they're still giving care.
Wow.
So anyway,
Wow.
you take them, makajuk them.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. The loss of dignity and independence, the feeling of, um, shame and the stigma.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. This is
And
family time.
as you said too, it
Hmm.
is that woman supposed to can take stress. And that
Yes,
them make her.
yes,
So whether they
yes.
all young in between, that
It is
them ban for
perceived
to
that
take
way.
stress.
It is
Yeah.
perceived that way, which is so unfortunate. So unfortunate.
Very, very.
So, just to remind our listeners that this is Family Time live on Love 101 FM, YouTube, and Facebook. It's produced by Family Life Ministries. For our social media interaction, we want you to tell us how can families and communities help prevent abuse against older people. Send your answers via WhatsApp text and WhatsApp voice notes to 876-997-3125. Try to keep those notes to of a maximum rather of 30 seconds. And you can also call our studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Ah, you can also watch us live and comment on Love 101 FM Facebook and Love 101 FM YouTube. We so want to hear from you. Don't be quiet on us this evening. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about what we're talking about. I know that some of you have persons with whom you have worked and you have seen the financial insecurity, the physical decline, the loss of dignity and independence, the stigma and the shame, how they're treated within the household. We want you to tell us what do you think we can do to prevent these things because older people are people too, yeah, and so we want to join the fight against gender-based violence, particularly as it relates to our elderly. It's 1 minute to 6 o'clock. We're going to take another break. We will be right back.
Remix the summer with Digicel. 100 lucky winners win $100,000 each, plus surprises all summer. To enter, buy a SIM, 7-day plan or higher. Switch to Digicel. Be an active postpaid or Digicel Plus customer, or receive US $15 or more from abroad. Gift a friend a plan. They could win $25,000. Remix the summer with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promo ends September 15, 2025. Conditions apply. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more info. Digicel, better connected this summer.
I'm Itana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6 o'clock.
Nothing beats the Love 101 September Bonanza. That's 15% off any advertising package. That's more savings, more spots, and more reach for your business. But don't wait. This offer ends September 30. Call us now at 876-968-9596-7 or email sales and marketing at love101.org. Let's grow together. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Family Time. It is so good that you have stayed with us. And if you're just joining us, we're so happy that you have. You're tuned to Love 101. This is Family Time, brought to you by Family Life Ministries. Family Life Ministries provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. Before we continue our discussion on the topic senior citizens fight against gender violence, we would have wanted to jump into the word from Reverend Mike, but unfortunately this evening we don't have. So we are going to, however, call on two additional guests. So we're getting double this evening, or triple, if you will. We have two additional guests whom we want to welcome to the space this evening. Mr. Wayne McIntosh and Ms. Barbara Forbes. Both are senior citizens and who are part of the WMW Jamaica. They focus on helping with the fight against gender violence, and so they engaged a workshop or workshops, and they call it We Talk Project Workshops, and they're going to be coming on. These two lovely persons are going to be coming on and sharing with us their thoughts in relation to what they benefited from the workshop that was put on by this organization. Welcome to you both. Before we go on to that, though, we have a phone call in the studio waiting on us, and we also have a YouTube channel. So let's take both.
Hello.
A YouTube comment. Okay, let's go with the call. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, how can I help you? Thanks for joining.
Okay, I'm just listening to the program.
Yes.
And you asked the question, how can persons help prevent some of the abuse to the senior citizens?
Right.
One of the things is, if you have a elderly person who's being taken care of by somebody, let's say a caregiver, whether it's a family member or whatever, visit.
Right.
Visit unexpectedly. Don't call all the time when you're coming. Pop up in the morning to see what they're eating for breakfast.
Right.
Pop up at midday to see what they're getting for them lunch. Pop up in the evening to see what they're going to get for them dinner.
Yes. Yes.
Pop up in the evening, in the night, just to see what is happening.
Yes. Yes.
When you go, be observant.
Yes.
Open your eyes. Don't assume.
Yes. Yes.
Don't assume the person is happy. Look at the person. Look at their body language. Look at their eyes. Look at their face. Look at how they listen keenly to how they speak to you.
Great, great.
Listen to what they're not saying. You ask them, are you okay? Everything all right? Yes, I know everything. Yeah, man, everything all right, man.
But you look
When
at
you
how
coming
they
to look for me
respond.
again?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
come look for me regular.
yes,
If they
yes.
want the company. But
Absolutely
there's also other issues. There could be other issues too.
involves. Thank you
This
so
is
much.
the older people.
Mm.
One of the biggest problems a lot of older people are having in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
loneliness.
Mm.
It's,
Yes,
it's
yes, yes.
driving them sick.
Crazy. Yeah.
Loneliness.
So we
And
can
this is
visit. I
gone are the
mean,
days when church used to be a part of society. It's not so much so now. Because
right, right.
there's some of them will find company and they find activities and they find people to interact with. Some
You're
people
right.
don't have that thing that so they're just there alone.
Yes.
Especially for the males,
Right,
they're
right.
alone.
Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. Valuable words of recommendations to us. And we so appreciate you taking the time to share. Take care. So we have some comments. Shirley Nelson says, pay attention, listen, observe, visit at different times. And maybe this is the same person who called. Don't call before visiting. Just pop up, especially if they're living with a caregiver, even if it's a relative. So these are some recommendations that can be used to help with the process. So appreciate. I assume that the person who texted, based on the consistency of what was said, that was Shirley Nelson. Thank you so much, Shirley. I appreciate your contribution. And we want other persons to tell us what you think we can do to help to stem this, I call it disease, this thing that is so wrong in our society. So welcome, Mr. McIntosh and Miss Forbes. So happy that you could join us. And you heard the recommendations that were made. Now, we've been talking about this workshop that you're a part of, which was sponsored by, is it WMW?
W WMW.
Right. So they are championing the cause of the rights and the protection of our elderly. And I gather that you were a participant in one or several of the workshops. Tell us about what you learned and what you can share with our listeners.
You want to go first?
Let's start with the lady. They say ladies before gentlemen, except
Okay. All right. Thank you. Are you hearing me?
Mr. McIntosh will allow you, I'm sure.
All right. And are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you quite well.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am,
Great.
I will.
Great. Great. Thank you for the opportunity to be on
Okay.
this show. And Mr. Wayne, you must have realized that these lady bombarded us with so much information that for us to talk for 5 minutes to impart all of this information to the ensure that our seniors are taken care of can be very difficult, but we'll try.
Yes.
So, what did we learn from it?
All right.
Like at first, so go ahead, Mr. Wayne. So I think it was the workshop that
Oh,
had
you want me
very informative, very informative. And I'm sure we will work with it. We can be effective, and we are not going to stay around and lay by, and observe and see without us taking action when it comes on to our seniors.
Right.
And so we will always be looking out for one another. We're not going to sit by, and we're not going to lay by and think. And so we were. Go ahead, Mr. Wayne.
You want to tell us, Mr. McIntosh, one thing that you learned from the sessions?
Okay. Well, for me, the fact that I have so many ladies within my family, I have a wife and I have 4 daughters. My sons have been away for a long while. They actually migrated to Canada. So I've had like 5 ladies around me for so much time. I grew up with my grandmother. Didn't have a father figure. So I've been close to ladies, and when we see what's happening, when we hear what's happening to the ladies, I am a defender. If something should happen in my house, I would be the first form of defense for them. So I have become passionate about this.
Right.
Of note, one thing, the caller who called in, I was speaking about checking up on persons who had caregivers taking care of them.
Right.
A point of note is that oftentimes once you go somewhere and you see an elderly lady and the hair is not properly combed,
Mm.
or the house dress that they have on, is not impeccable clean, you
Mm.
right off the bat, you can detect that
Something
there
is
is
wrong.
something off.
Yes.
Usually, when the
Yes.
genuine caregivers who show love and kindness, they will often comb, because these ladies still, as a lady, likes to have their hair combed and to
Mm-hmm.
be presentable. So once you see that, that sort of is a trigger, you
Yes,
know.
that's a red
And
flag.
yes, ladies, I think in this time need to be especially careful of predators, the stalkers.
Mm-hmm.
I I was sharing some of our experiences at the session with a club I'm connected to. And the very morning I was, giving them some tips on being careful and all of that. There was this lady who that very same morning she was stalked by a young man because
No.
of
Oh.
her growing up and the politeness. She saw this young man, politely told him good morning, and then he took a set on following her and saying all kind of messy stuff to her. So
Mm.
ladies, um as much as the elders are not on their phones as much, but
Mm.
be very careful, be very observant, because 9 out of 10 times the persons who abuse elders are persons who actually are close to them, who know them, who sort of make it their duty to
Right.
watch, follow them, and then when the opportunity comes along,
Right.
they abuse, they take, they
Yes.
attack.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
So
Let's hear
being
from.
vigilant, being careful,
Yes,
yeah.
is important. Is important. Thank you so much. We want to hear from Sister Barbara. Can I call you that?
Right. Yes, certainly. That's what I'm called.
I want to.
Yeah,
I know
my
you
friends
have.
call.
I know you
Yes.
have a
Yeah.
response, but I wanted to
Yeah.
also ask if in the the session that you had, did they present anything different to how elders were treated then to how elders should be treated now, or was it basically the same?
Was basically the same. However, they advised us that there are certain things we should look for. There are 5 Ds,
Mm,
right? And the 5 Ds we should look at. We should like we can, when we see these things, we can distract. You can distract. You can delegate.
right.
You can also document if you're not
Mm,
able to do anything at the same time. I delay because sometimes you cannot do anything at the same time. You have to delay and
right.
also direct. So who do you go to? What when you see these things happening? Who do you call?
Right. Right.
Right? Do they
Yeah.
have a do they have a base where they are? Can you reach out to them in any way? Right? Can you
Mm-hmm.
take a picture? Can you follow up?
Wow.
Right? So it's very so what we need to do now is to always say we have to be advocates for each
Yes.
other,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We have to
I
look
like
out
that.
for each other,
I like
right?
that. I like
They
that.
have to changes. We have to change these things. And as a matter of fact, when we first when we were introduced to this program,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about gender based
Right.
violence. So we were seeing gender is only man like woman, you know. So we were
But
saying
it's the
yes.
other
So
way
we were
around
saying
as well.
yes. It's other yes, right. So we
Mm-hmm.
realized now that hey, everybody is in this thing together,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And more
Absolutely.
so, yes. So especially relationships, very important that
Mm-hmm.
we as a community
Mm-hmm.
we need to right have good relationships with each
Thank you
other.
so much for
Females
that.
in particular, yes.
On the note of community, someone, Sister Ray Ray, just commented on Facebook to say on YouTube to say that is why we have the Alive family. We have a lot of persons who are elderly in the group, and I guess what she's saying is that they support each other, and that's really very good to have a community of persons with whom you can relate and you can talk about things. Very, very important. It appears that we've lost our counselor, but hopefully we'll be able should be able to join us again. But I really do appreciate you two young people coming on and sharing with us as you have. We're heading to our final break, and we want to just say that this is family time on Love 101 FM, and we're also live on YouTube and on Facebook. It's produced by Family Life Ministries. And for our feedback questions, and we really do appreciate those who have been responding to the question, and we want to encourage those, even though we're on our final break, just still comment, because we will read your comments. And if you have a text message or a voice message, please go right ahead. But the question is, how can families and communities help prevent abuse against older people? Send your answers via WhatsApp text or WhatsApp voice notes to 876-997-3125. Of course, we ask you to keep it to no longer than 30 seconds. You can also call our serial lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. And watch us live and make your comment on Love 101 FM Facebook and Love 101 YouTube. We really want to hear from you. So please don't go away. We're going to take our final break. It's 6:15. We will be right back.
Remix the summer with Digicel. Start school with amazing deals on phones, plans, and home fiber and internet from Digicel. Conditions apply. Digicel, better connected for back to school.
You can see the face, but not the heart. Those who want to do you wrong. So many times.
Bless up. This is Christopher Martin. Human trafficking is a crime. Let's unite to end human trafficking. Be wise, open your eyes. Spot them, stop them, and report them.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
No shadow at the dark. No shadow at the dark.
Welcome back to Family Time. It's so good that you have decided to join us again. We are on our final break in the program where we've been talking about how can families and communities help prevent abuse against older people? Of course, that was your question, listeners, that you should be responding to. And we wanted to remind those, if you're just wondering what station you're at, you're tuned to Love 101, and this is Family Time, brought to you by Family Life Ministries. Family Life Ministries provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. And remember that you can tune into our program via Love 101 Facebook page and YouTube channel. The topic today, as if you're just joining us, and I hope not, but if you are, the topic is senior citizens fight against gender-based violence. And our special guests have been Mrs. Marvet Facey Dobbs, Mr. Wayne McIntosh, and Miss Barbara Forbes. They have been enlightening us, sharing with us from the psychological and counseling perspective, sharing with us from their own experience. And so we want to enter into the final phase of our discussions and ask each of them to just respond to some of the questions that we have. We have a comment on YouTube. Dorel White says, "Good evening. What I find some of the younger generation, they are disrespectful to seniors, calling them old woman and old boy." Yes, and that, of course, is not good. The fact is that yes, they know they're old, but if it is said in a way which is endearing, because you can say "old boy," which is a nice way, loving, endearing way. But if it is said in a way which is negative and unpleasant, of course, that is not healthy
Yeah,
for
it's in the how you say it, because I'm smiling because that's how I call my 84-year-old father.
yes,
It's the
yes,
old boy where I go on. When it's a young
absolutely.
girl where I go on.
Absolutely.
So
But
it's
how
in
it
the
is said,
how.
that makes a
Yeah.
difference. The tone and just the general way that it is said. And so we have to be careful, but because guess what? They were our age one time. Yeah. And
It's a
look at them.
privilege.
And if we get to that age, meaning the younger ones, meaning if they get to that age, they would be blessed. Because I think it's a blessing to live to old
It's a
age.
It
privilege.
is. It is.
Absolutely. So let me just, as we count down, we don't have a lot of time left, so we want to make our responses very crisp and within a minute. What and how will you take what you've learned into your home, into your community? And let me ask that of Mr. McIntosh. How have you? Well, I think you kind of gave us some insight as to what you've done, but just quickly say what you think you can take into the community to help those with whom you interact. Mr. McIntosh? Or if Mrs. Forbes want to take that, you can go ahead.
Well,
You're hearing
okay.
me? Okay.
Yes. Well,
It has to be in 1 minute though, because where our time is going. There seems to be a delay with him. Okay, go ahead, Mrs. Forbes.
Okay.
you're going,
Well,
Miss Forbes, right?
all right, I go ahead. For example, in churches, at my church, we have a senior citizens group. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have meetings and we have activities for them. We take them
Right.
out. Like come
Mm,
September is Senior Citizens Month.
absolutely.
So right. And so for the month of September, we'll be going on a weekend,
Mm,
right? And some of these, most of our seniors are lonely, but they are willing to take care of themselves. They don't
yes,
necessarily want
yes.
anybody to be sitting around with them all the time. They like to do
Right,
things, right?
right.
We have Devon House,
Mm,
right? You
take
have
them as
Hope
well.
Gardens, right?
Yes.
And you can go. The government, no, I would want to see them open back the the daycare center
Mm,
for seniors. So
right.
those family or family members who are leaving their seniors at home, either
Mm.
by themselves or with some caregiver that they don't know what they're doing with them, to get them back into the center. I'd
Ah,
love to see that happening. I'd
absolutely.
love to see that
Great,
happening.
great.
Get
Sounds
them
good.
back at the center,
Sounds
right? They
good.
call it a day center.
Mr.
Okay, that's my point.
McIntosh, thank you so much, Mrs. Forbes. Mr. McIntosh, what one or two things do you think that could be done based on what you've learned from the workshops? What one or two things would you recommend?
Okay. At a church, we need to be more involved. My church, we have what we live in groups and we tend to go and visit the shut-ins, bring
Mm,
care packages and spend some time with them. In some cases have communion with them and all of that. Involvement is a critical thing. Some of them loneliness is a key factor that sort of has them sort of disoriented. And
mm-hmm.
in the mix, when persons are visiting, if you could include a couple elder persons in the group who they can
Ah,
identify with and relate, like with
very good.
things dating back to their time, that
Yes,
would be a
yes,
plus.
absolutely. Thank you so
Generally
much for
speaking, in my
that.
community, I try as much as I can to implore to the young men or even older men that the violence thing, it's a no-no. So
Right, absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you so much. We have a 19 seconds voice message. Can we have it, please? Or voice
It
note?
takes a lot of patience to look after the seniors, but guess
Mm.
what? We all can get old if we live, so we have to be more patient with them, try to be more kind, and show them compassion. That is
Yes.
my take in all of this.
Thank you so much. So appreciate. I didn't get a name, but I so appreciate your comment.
What I
Miss,
want to add in terms of what I got from the
I was
workshop
just
with
coming
me,
back to you
yeah,
to ask
I'm
you to
talking
add
fast because I don't have a minute.
and to
What came
also
out is
before you
for
start to
them,
speak. before you start this weekend, to also add any resource that is available so that persons who are listening can know where they can get information. That particular group that accommodates or supports
Mm-hmm.
things, it could be one such. So you can speak to that and any other resource that could be available to help elderly in any way. Go right
Yes.
ahead.
So a big part of helping our seniors is for them to feel useful.
Mm,
So coming out of the workshops, one of the biggest things was what can you do outside of the workshop, and what some of them said is that now I feel useful. I don't have
mm,
to come away thinking that um perpetuating the same thing over and over, that there are certain gender roles and boy for do this and girl for do this, and if they don't do this then them are this and that, and
right,
so they can be a voice in terms of change, right?
right,
And so
right.
usefulness is very, 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 very important for them, because when you
Mm,
get to a certain age and you're not as active anymore,
yes,
you know,
that
it
can.
really, really helps that you can be useful.
Tell
So
us the name of the organization and if persons want to make contact quickly.
so you have spaces like um the National Society for Seniors. That's not
Okay,
the exact name, but it's missing me now. But
right.
What
there's
is
a
that?
specific the national there's a national organization that deals with seniors. I'm not
Okay,
National
remembering
Council for
the name.
Senior Citizens.
Look
That's the
at
National
Barbara
Council for
for the save.
Yeah.
right, right,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
National Council for Senior
And
Citizens.
they can
They're
access
very
the information
responsive,
online.
because I've
Yeah,
passed
we
on the road
yeah,
and
we
seen elderly people. When I call them,
Mm-hmm.
they are very responsive.
Great, great.
Very,
But
very
that
responsive. So that's a
workshop,
very good
that
one.
that agency or that group that put on that workshop, tell us that name and
What you mean, WMW Jamaica? I'm a
right.
member of
Yeah.
WMW Jamaica. So it's a women's organization. We're over 30 odd years old, and we do workshops on gender-based violence. We do workshop
Okay.
on human rights. We do workshops on anything that has to do with empowerment of women, but not just women, people, because it's a gender equity space where
Okay.
we think that we're trying to create equal spaces for all.
Great. Thank you so much. Any final word? 1 minute, and I throw it at you, Sister Margaret.
Oh, for me, just
Yes.
just realize that our elders are our treasure.
Mm,
There's there's just a whole host of information in them. They're still alive, and
mm,
they still can produce. They have a lot to offer.
right.
Stop throwing them away. Stop abusing them. And for the elderly, you have a voice. You have a
Thank you so
voice, and
much.
you are useful.
Yes,
And we
absolutely.
see you. We see you.
Yes, yes, really, really do appreciate that. And we are really up on time. We want to say thanks to all for being here with us. If you have questions of a personal nature or are concerned about a friend or family member, call us. For more information on our services or our counselors in Kingston and other parts of the island, contact our head office. This is Family Life Ministries at 876-920-1034 or 876-926-8101. Note that for appointments and information on costs, you must call the offices. Otherwise, to keep up to date with what's happening at FLM and our programs, check us out on Facebook. And our Facebook page is FLM Family Life Ministries. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA, and on Instagram at simply FLMJA. Before we leave, here is a verse for this evening. Isaiah 46 and verse 4 says, even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you and I will carry you. I will sustain you. I will rescue you. What a word for the elders. Join us next week as we have another informative program. Thanks again to our special guests, Mrs. Marvet Facey Dobbs, Mr. Wayne McIntosh, and Ms. Barbara Forbes. Thank you so, so much for coming on and sharing your heart, sharing your experiences, sharing your expertise with us. We have been better for it. Thanks also to our show producer, Kathy Gale. Thanks to Derval Graham for piloting us through this hour. And of course, to you. We would not, could not, cannot have a program if we don't have you. So thanks again for being with us this evening. I am Joan Pinkney. Have a great rest of the week and God bless.